Hey, welcome to my channel. Today, I will read from the r/pro revenge. At my sister's graduation, my parents disowned me, then screamed when I unveiled their secret. This happened about 6 years ago. I'm a 30-year-old woman, and my parents raised me to believe that education wasn't important. My entire life was filled with insults and criticism. The only time they were proud of me was when I got married to a wonderful man who was well educated and came from a wealthy family. Unfortunately, he passed away 2 years later due to an illness. I was devastated and spiraled into depression after losing my husband. My parents criticized me even more for not being able to pull myself together and get over it. My mother said that I would never amount to anything because I was lazy and unmotivated. My father agreed, saying that if I couldn't take care of myself, then I deserved to be alone. So I moved out and started seeing a therapist. I began taking small steps to improve my life. I eventually found a job and an apartment, and I became a lot happier. About 4 years after moving out, I found out that my parents had been hiding money from me that was supposed to be mine. My aunt told me that they had put it in a trust fund for me so that I could use it for education. But once they found out that I wasn't going to college, they took the money out and spent it on my sister who was attending Harvard. I confronted them, and they said that it was my fault that I didn't have any money because I was unmotivated. I was so angry because I had worked hard to get myself to where I was. A few months after that, my sister graduated from Harvard, and my parents invited me to attend her graduation ceremony. I was still angry about the money, but I decided to let it go for the sake of my mental health. I told myself that they wouldn't be able to hide the truth forever, and that eventually it would come out. During the ceremony, my parents sat in the front row, and my sister and I sat in the second row. As soon as my sister received her diploma, all three of them stood up and walked towards her. They hugged her and congratulated her. But when it was my turn to stand up and walk towards them, my parents looked at each other and stood up. They all stared at me for a moment without saying a word. Then my dad said, "You are not welcome here. We don't know you, and you are not part of this family." My mom took a deep breath and added, "We are officially disowned you." Everyone stared at us in shock. My sister looked devastated, but she didn't say anything. I responded, "Thank you for making it clear. I've always felt like an outsider in this family anyway, so it doesn't really change anything for me." I went back to my seat and the ceremony continued. My sister ended up winning an award after the ceremony. My parents congratulated her and gave her a large envelope before leaving. When I got home, I went straight to my computer and researched estate laws. It turns out that in Massachusetts, children can sue their parents for financial support until the age of 23. I found a lawyer who specialized in family law and made an appointment. While waiting for my appointment, I checked my mail and found a letter addressed to me from a law firm. It was a cease and desist letter from my parents' lawyer threatening me for defamation. I saved a copy and printed it out to show the lawyer. When the lawyer read the letter, he smiled and said, "Perfect. This is exactly what I needed." Turns out the lawyer knew my parents and their reputation for trying to screw people over. He took my case pro bono. My parents were screwed in the end. I exposed their secret. It turns out that my parents had committed fraud to buy my sister's dream house. They had forged my signature on documents so that the house would be put in my name, but I had never signed those papers. They also tried to claim that the money in the trust fund was a gift to my sister rather than something that was supposed to be used for education. But since they had taken the money out of the trust fund and spent it on the house, the lawyer used that against them. In the end, they had to sell the house and split the money between my sister and I. Neither of them expected me to fight back, but I was done being their punching bag. Opie, I am so happy that you fought back against your narcissistic parents. You deserve so much more than what they gave you. That was pro-revenge. And if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.